If y'all ain't subscribed, man, y'all gotta subscribe, man, because I don't think anybody bring you this type of stories. This shit right here is crazy. So 8-minute video, so get your popcorn and get tucked into blanket and shit, whatever you gotta do, man. Make sure the stove is off.
A year ago today, I almost got arrested on a first date. This story's just been traveling word of mouth up until now, but I think after a year of processing what happened, I'm finally ready to share. So interestingly enough, how I met this guy was through church, and he was highly recommended to me throughout several people in our town. Before I met him, he was marketed to me as new kid in town, college football player, super hardworking, great Christian guy. Everyone thought that we would be a perfect match. I ended up meeting him in public after he was marketed to me, and I would not say that we hit it off, but he invited me to go to his Bible study. Well, I couldn't make it to his Bible study, but I just said like, oh, maybe I'll see you there, I don't know, but I ended up having something else to do, and I knew that the whole time. Well, then a week goes by and I get a DM on.
I hate when people say, oh yeah, I'll come see you over there, but they already know that they're not gonna make it. Yeah, just keep it real and be like, I can't make it, just keep it real, man. I hate when people do that shit.
On Instagram, and it is from him telling me again that I should come to his Bible study, and this is the next Sunday. I don't have anything to do, so I'm like, well, I guess I'll just go. So I go, we don't really talk that much. I had to leave to go to my church after the fact, so that was the end of that. Well, he ends up DMing me on Instagram saying thanks for coming and that he wanted to hang out sometime. I'm not gonna lie, I sort of was pushing hanging out because when I got there, he was teaching the class, and I always thought that that's what I wanted, was like a youth pastor kind of guy, I thought. Well, long story short, we hung out a few times casually over about a week or two before the first date where the arrest almost happened. We did things like get ice cream. I went to his house for dinner one night thinking that it was supposed to be for networking purposes because at this time I was looking for a job, and it ended up seeming like a meet the girlfriend type of dinner, but I didn't really care. They were making milkshakes. I was honestly having a good time. So he tells me that he wants to take me on a date and treat me like the queen that I am. Now I know that's icky, and I know I should have known right then and there that that's not normal, but personally I think of myself as a queen, but in the cringy, it is cringy that I think that too, so
Imagine a man saying, I'm gonna take you on a date so I can treat you like a queen that you are. What the fuck? Who says that type of shit?
Check myself there. And also, I just gotten out of a relationship with someone else where he did not treat me like a queen, so I was like, you know what? I'll give this a try. I'll just give it a try. So the date starts by him coming to church with my family. After church, I have 1 hour on our itinerary of everything we were going to do for the date. I have 1 hour to go home and kind of debrief. At this point, I'm not wanting to go on the date anymore. He has icked me out. He had shown up to my work. Like I'm not answering the phone. He shows up to my work. I told him, I'd let him know if we were going to hang out later. And then I said later, oh, I'm going to sleep. He shows up to my work the next day and says, I was up all night waiting for you to text me if you were going to hang out or not. Like, you need to be better at communicating if things are going to work between us. So the red flags are already there, but he's hyped up this very grandiose date that I have to take part in. Like, I just really had to see what this man was about to do. So it starts with us going to church with my family. He invited himself with us. I have about 1 hour in between, according to the itinerary, to go home, and basically what I had to do was prepare myself to go on this date. I did not want to go, but I felt so bad to cancel, so I went. He picks me up, we pray in the car before we leave. First stop is McDonald's, because he said that my family did not let him finish his food at lunch. We were at lunch for 2 hours. He got chicken fingers, and the reason that he didn't finish his food is I swear he didn't take a breath. He didn't stop talking about how he is so mature. He's this and that. He's going to do this and that the whole time. Nobody got a word in. And then after he got McDonald's, he got 2 cheeseburgers, and he starts choking on the pickle. And I know that I should feel sympathy for that, but I was really, really icked out at that point, and I really wanted to go home. But the date had just begun. Next stop, Krispy Kreme. He's complaining, he gets us 6 donuts, and he is complaining about how much those 6 donuts cost. Before we went on the date, he told me, don't even bring my wallet. He's paying for everything, treating me like the queen I am. So I just think it's really rude if you ask someone on a date and you're complaining about how much it costs. That's like, I don't want to be there then if I'm such a burden to you.
Can afford a 6-pack of donuts? I think the 12-pack is like 11 something from Krispy Kreme.
Next stop, he knows that I don't like coffee, is Starbucks. And we are going in there and we get water to do a Bible study. We've prayed probably 3 times by this point on the date. And yeah, we spent an hour in there doing a little devotional together. Now he says the fancy restaurant that he had in mind for us to go eat was Texas Roadhouse.
That's fancy?
The place with the peanuts on the floor. But he's been planning this date for a week, and he didn't know that the town we went to, there wasn't a Texas Roadhouse. And before the Starbucks, actually we went to the mall for the shopping part of the date. I'm assuming don't bring any money, blah, 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 like maybe he's gonna buy me a dress or something. Nope, he tells me that he wants me to point out things that he would look good in and that he's not buying anything today. Well, I studied fashion in college, and I would say I'm pretty stylish. Everything that I just went along with it. At this point, I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna go along with it. I was like, well, this is cute, and he's like, no, it's not. Oh my god, no, it's not. Like, you have no style. That's why we're here. Look, and like, I need to calm down because we're not even at the peak, not even close to the peak. So he's looking up, freaking out. What restaurant are we gonna go to now? Or his notes app is of what to do, exactly what to do is off. So he's like, well, there's a Mexican restaurant over here. I say, I would love Mexican. That's exactly what I want. Let's go there. So when we sit down, he says almost immediately that his family likes to do affirmations. They, at dinner, go around the table and give each other positive affirmations. My family does not do that, and I am not upset by that at all. So basically, for the entirety of the dinner, he is just hyping me up. He's just giving me these affirmations, and this man does not know me, but I was like, whatever, I'm here, I'm just gonna eat my food and I'm just gonna take all this in. I'm just gonna let him hype me up. Like, what else am I gonna do? Well, I wasn't expecting him to hit me with a, okay, now do me. Almost choked on my food. I started trying to remix some of the things that he said. I don't even know. I blacked out, and then I'm like, he asked the waiter for a box, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the restroom. Well, I had been on my phone all day long because this date's been going on. It's probably like 6 p.m. now, or 7, and I'm in the bathroom for at least 10 minutes, texting everyone back, saying, oh my god.
You have to go to the bathroom right there at the restaurant. That's how you know that shit was good.
This is the longest date ever. I think I'm about to come home, blah, blah, blah. Well, about 10 minutes go by. I'm like, okay, I probably need to go back out there. When I get back, he's holding his box. He says, are you ready to go? I say, yep, let's go. So it luckily started raining, so we just headed home. Well, now at this point, he says it's time for us to share our testimonies with each other. I won't share too much into that, but basically he slut-shamed me for having sex at 24 years old.
Oh my god.
He didn't just slut shame me. He almost started crying and breathing heavily, saying, I can forgive you. I can get through this. It's gonna be okay. And I'm like, I do not need your forgiveness. I am okay. I'm not gonna let you ruin a happy, good memory for me. Basically, he found out from me saying, my last relationship was not the most Christian of relationships. It wasn't like I'm out here saying, I'm banging everybody in town. So I'm like, take me home right now. Well, it's raining, it's dark out, and I'm just like disassociated, and I realize almost right before we get to my house that we've been dead silent this whole time, and I accidentally busted out laughing. Well, then obviously he looks at me, and I'm like, oh, my bad. I just was laughing. Oh, well, he's not laughing. Next thing I know, he starts beating on the steering wheel. This sucks! This sucks! This sucks! Then he looked at me with the craziest eyes I've ever seen and said, you know what? And I said, what? He said, the devil's gonna use this against us. The devil's gonna use this to tear us apart. And then he wiped his tears. I do the only thing to do after something like that. Well, first he hugs me, kind of won't let me go in the car, prays about my premarital sex, and then I go inside and cry and sit in a dark room for the next 24 hours. Well, that night, The Bachelorette's coming on, and I'm starting to feel more back to myself. I'm in my peace and quiet in a dark room watching The Bachelorette. I mean, that is my me time. Well, during a commercial, I'm scrolling on Facebook, and I see, me and him. It was a picture of us leaving the restaurant that the restaurant had posted. And the caption was, the USA might be free, but this restaurant isn't. 4th of July Dine and Dash edition. It had 148 shares, and it had comments like, I hope they get diarrhea, scum of the earth.
She already got diarrhea. She was in the bathroom for 10 minutes.
Making fun of the way we looked. It was horrible. I called the restaurant, crying. They feel bad for me. Take the picture down. They said they got 70 new followers from that. I'm like, congratulations. I text him a screenshot of the picture. He says he forgot to pay. And that's not even the worst part. Comment if you want a part 2.
Yo, that's crazy. But I feel like, see, this is what happens, right? When you ignore multiple red flags and you just keep going with the flow because you're being pressured by these other people. When people say, oh, you have to find a nice Christian man or Christian woman, Muslim man, Muslim woman. What if they're super religious, right? But we don't have a chemistry. We don't connect. Or they're crazy. Dine and Dash. This shit is crazy. And then they took the picture and put it all over the fucking social media. Getting followed. This is marketing for them, And this man wanted to go to a fancy restaurant. Imagine that. Yo, they're lucky they didn't call the police on their ass. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, just listen, man. Don't get pressured into something that you're gonna end up like this. I'm gonna see if I can find a part 2, and I'm gonna bring it to you guys, okay? If you guys find a part 2 before me, Send it to my DM, alright? My Instagram handle is somewhere here. Peace and love.